Beautiful day, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Coming to you live once again from Las Vegas. I go by Melinda NailFanatic, but you could call me Mel. And I'm back to deliver this latest timeless collective channel message from the download series. So if you're here, it's by divine design. Where it resonates, pick it up and run with it. Where it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Either way, make your choices and decisions responsibly today, because you always get the consequences and repercussions to pay. You have questions, I have answers. Look below the video in the description box for all that. What I'm seeing is you get to see another perspective. You get to see another side of life, and you are freed from sacrifices and stuff. Why? Because justice was at the bottom of the deck. Justice stepped up for you. It said, yeah, you've been found innocent. You've been declared free, okay? Whatever you weren't innocent of, I heard you already paid those debts. You already paid restitution. You already did your time. You did whatever you needed to do in order to get your energy in alignment, okay, for a different experience, for a new perspective, for a new way, and a new day. Yes, I'm hearing a new way and a new day. So, new way, new routine, new way of being, new way of seeing, new way of feeling, new way of thinking, okay? And then the new day, it's like, wow, everything is so sparkly and new. In the past, you had a decision. You were at a crossroads. What would you do? What would you do? It was important to find out what you would do in the past, okay? And they were watching. I heard they were watching. Who was watching? The highest self, the spirit team. In your current energy, the altar. Look at you. Ha! There's that sacrifice, honey. You made the sacrifice. You have your altar set up, okay? And I don't feel... I mean, some of you might literally have a physical altar, but I feel like this is more of a spiritual offering. Like you give to your spirit. You make sure you take time for your spirit every day. You make sure you take time to let your angels, ancestors, and your spirit team know that you're attentive, know that you're aligned, know that you're listening, know that you're in tune. So whether that is time for meditation, or like me, I get with these cards and I get with this energy, okay, and I show up every day. There's some way that you're showing up every day now, all right? So what's the blessing in this that is being revealed for you? We have protection. You were always safe. You were always safe, even when it didn't feel like it. So one of the blessings in this is now you're going to see the evidence of the safety. You're going to see the evidence of the fact that you are protected. You are cherished. You are valued. Okay, you are valued, cherished, and protected. Let me see, what is the challenge now? The current challenge is to enjoy the ride. Wow. Merry-go-round. Okay, we have a merry-go-round. So it's like, can you be merry while you go around, while this cycle shifts? Because again, whatever sacrifice had to be made, whatever energy you had to go through to get here, it's like you freed yourself from what was. You're coming into a new way and a new day. Enjoy the ride. Make the best of what is, knowing that their best is yet to come, knowing that there's more here for you, knowing that you're not done. Let me see who or what is in your environment. The spirit wants to talk about your environment. The environment. We have wisdom, dream symbolism, astrology for beginners, angel numbers, intuitive awareness. We have tarot. We have the Metro card. And we have 1111. 1111, you are in tune with your spirit, like you're getting signs and synchronicities, and you've studied up to understand these things. Like some of you studied up literally through the books you were reading. Some of you studied up because you've been giving attention to your spiritual needs, right? As the studied up comes through in different ways. A lot of you, these studying up moments had a lot to do with intuitive hits and expanded awareness, expanded consciousness that literally came directly to your own soul, is the way I'm hearing it. Came directly to your own soul. What you needed to know came directly to your own soul. And sometimes it came through words. Some of it could have even come through this channel, but a lot of it comes through in your everyday waking and walking life, like you looking up different audiobooks to listen to, you're checking out different readers, you're finding stuff that resonates with your soul. And the way I'm hearing it is there's a lot of confirmation of what you've already come to know. And so You had these ideas, you had these downloads. And so now you're finding the confirmation that you are really on to something with that. Like, not only did you have this intuitive hit, but you're finding there's other people that's been teaching it. There's other people that's been knowing what's been growing inside of you. And so you know who to listen to when you find this. I'm hearing you know who to listen to when you find this. And at the end of the day, the listening to is not about listening to someone else, but it's about listening to you. It's about trusting you. I'm hearing that's a huge confirmation for you right now at this time, to be listening to you, because it was you that got you this far. It was always you. They're saying it was always you. Okay. Well, let's see what's the guidance for you moving forward. What's the guidance for you moving forward? I see you, Asuza. I see you, Share Bear. Let me see the guidance for you moving forward. What's the guidance moving forward? Okay. Wow. It says celebrate your wins. Look at this. The guidance for you moving forward is to celebrate your wins, to really be very aware, and I'm hearing the word cognizant of all the ways that you are successful, accomplished, triumphant, winning, baby. All your winning, current winning, previous winning, the winning that you're still set and slated to do, I'm hearing. So there's so much more that's still coming through for you, but they're saying stay in alignment with it by celebrating the wins. In other words, there could be reasons to go down in the dumps and get into a funk, but we're not going to focus our energy there, because the more you stay in this gratitude and proud and successful, accomplished, winning energy, the more successful, accomplished, proud, winning energy you're going to see showing up in your life, the more evidence of that will be proven to be true. So celebrate your wins. Like, you have really come through a lot. It's very much also an energy of celebrating that decision that you made back then. You could have went this way or you could go that way, but you made a decision that has taken you into this freedom from wherever you were martyring yourself, sacrificing yourself, wherever you couldn't see something that you now know is true. You've had a perspective shift. It's like you could have been stuck on humdrum, life is so boring and nothing works out energy for so long. And then you went through this situation where you made a decision, and now it's like you started with that decision. It's like you decided you were going to give more attention to your spiritual needs, to where you came from versus where you are. Wow. And then I heard, because you're a shining star. So yeah, you may have came from that, but you built coherence in yourself now, because you're very focused on your accomplishments. You're very focused on what is working for you. You're very in tune with your spiritual essence. I'm hearing spiritual essence, like at the core of what we are spirit. And it's easy to get caught up on these bodies. It's easy to get caught up on all the material things that we could touch, right? But they're saying you got into this very strong awareness of your spiritual essence. Okay, so where is this all taking you? What's the next step after this? Okay, and I'm seeing candle magic. So candle magic for me is all about intention setting. Some of you will actually, now that you've gotten in tune with yourself, get to working with some tools, but they want you to remember that you are the energy that makes all the tools work. So anywhere where you could have really liked to do these things in the past, I see that now you're going to do it with more effectiveness, because now you're not thinking that it's the candle that holds the power. You're not thinking it's the candle that has the magic. You know, and they're showing me to look up this title of this reading that we did because it's relevant. You know that you are the reason, you are the power, you are the miracle and the magic. Yes, we did that reading. It's 13 days ago. It's on the live tab. Go check that out if you didn't watch that one. But they're saying, yeah, you are the reason, you are the power, you are the miracle, and you are the magic. So now that you got that down, you can work with tools, and they literally are going to amplify this beautiful energy, because you're sitting in the beautiful energy. You're sitting also in the beautiful energy of success and accomplishment and gratitude, where before you were sitting in the energy of needing another power, needing something external from you. You are also sitting in the energy of faults, of lack, of I don't have. And so anywhere where you were using these tools before, it was enhancing that. And that's why things really seemed like they weren't working, because they were working perfectly. It's just your mentality wasn't in alignment with the success and accomplishment that you have. Now that you understand that you're the power, you work the same techniques from a different headspace so they're more effective. Okay, what's at the bottom of this deck here? Oh, level up. Look at that. 100. 100 will go on to the top floor, baby. Your crown chakra all the way active. Like, you get the messages. And what I'm seeing in this is you're going to be getting some divine guidance that says, hey, it's time to work some magic. It's time to use the tools. What they're showing me is this period of time in which I literally was guided to remove all sacred objects and all the sacred tools from my experience. I wasn't working with any crystals, with any candles, with any incense. I wasn't working with anything at all, literally nothing. And Spirit showed me, like, they stripped me down to my core essence, to where the only tool I had was me. They said, because that's the most effective tool, you see. They said, because that's the one that makes it all work. It's all working. All the external tools, all the external devices are working based off of the self, your own frequency, your own vibration, your own energy. And so once I was able to get that in a place where it was coherent and it was stable in its coherency, then it was little by little I started receiving gifts of crystals and tools. And what do you know? Then I started feeling that gotta take a dump urge to go get me some that I chose. Okay. And so that's the experience that I'm seeing here. It's like anywhere where you were at a decision point and Spirit was like, listen, let me show you what you can do. I see that you made that sacrifice, and I see that now it's like all of a sudden these tools are being added unto you. Again, it's like you're now finding the need to pick up the cards, the crystal, the sage, the incense, the palo santo. And I do see you receiving gifts of these things. Yeah, I see somebody specifically receiving some black obsidian. That's what I saw. And then they showed me my necklace. This piece of black obsidian was gifted to me from a dear friend of mine, right? And so this was all after the stripping phase of, yeah, let's get down to your core essence. You're the reason, you're the power, you're the miracle and the magic. So let's see some more of how this is playing out in your physical experience, okay? What can you reveal? What do you know, Lord Source God, this tribe needs to know? Yeah. So what you have is you're like, no, I don't need all of that. I don't need all of that. So somewhere there's an offer. There's something that's made available to you, but you're like, I don't need that. Oh, and I just heard it. Somebody offering to do some spiritual work for you. Maybe Reiki or healing or a reading or something, right? And you're like, I don't need that. I don't need you to do that for me. I got this. You're like, I'm happy just sitting here on my couch. And at the same time, like you're seeing, they're also showing me this is somebody around you. They miss you. They miss your energy. There's somebody here who feels rejected by you at the same time. I mean, you can't take accountability for how they're feeling. There is somebody that feels rejected by you. Why? Because you've been busy working your magic. You've been busy minding your business, minding your frequency, minding your vibration, minding your spirit, minding your ancestors, minding all that you are, were, and will be. Minding your business means you said, no, thank you. I'm not interested. Thank you. Hey, Jesse. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. All of you. Yes. Share Bear talking about 44 degrees and 4:44 p.m. I love it. Let me see what your desire, what's the desire in this, okay? So you know that you come into, I'm also seeing, yeah, this golden chalice over here is coming on a cloud. So there's also some energy here where you received some information that was divinely delivered, and you have also been the deliverer of spiritual awareness, of truth that they don't want to hear. So I see, and there's a situation where you've literally spoken something to somebody. Yeah, they're showing me in this experience. I met this woman. I dated her for like a month. And you know, She had a giant Santa Muerte in her room. And she proceeded to tell me how she gets attacked by the devil. And I told her, I said, do you realize, though, that you give your power to these entities? And so that opens the gate and the door for entities to come in. She didn't want to hear what I had to say. That's what this looks like. So whatever you told somebody, and it could have been that they were giving power to entities. It could have been specifically the same thing I told her, because whenever Spirit has me say things, it's not on accident. It's always on purpose. And boy, have I had this overwhelming confirmations of that throughout the years, right? But you said something, and it was to clear up confusion. That golden chalice that's sitting on the cloud. The cloud is the confusion. The golden chalice is the truth of how one is the source of exactly what they don't want to see. Because if you look at Rose, her face is not happy. She is not happy at all in her face. Okay. Now, the desire in this, I'm picking these up this way because the way I had shuffled and it showed itself, it like stuck in the deck face up. So they want us to see what's at the bottom facing this. And what it is, it's the 8 of Swords. So they want free from this jail. There's somebody here who wants free from the prison that they're in. The Page of Pentacles, because they want to be able to attain something. There's something they want. Now, Blanche Devereaux, she is sassy and classy. And, you know, she's very spoiled. And she's very indulgent, right? This is what somebody wants, but they're stuck in their head. And they can't see. So what they want this thing. They want to be in this energy where they get to hold in their hands the things that they desire, right? What do they need to sacrifice? And some of you, this is exactly what you went through. You had to sacrifice this stuck in your head. This repetitive story that was validating what you went through. And we're not saying that it was necessarily a bad thing, but the problem was it kept activating the same energy over and over again. And so, yeah, it was tragic. No, it wasn't fair. No, it wasn't nice. We agree with you. Is it beneficial to keep focusing on that story, to keep retelling that story, to stay recreating that headspace, right? And you realized that it was not. And so you offered up on the altar to the divine. That's what I see. And some of you are doing this right now. Some of you have already done this. And so you can see that's what this person needs. You're like, oh my goodness. Honey, I see exactly what you're doing because I used to do it too. Yes, I used to tell the tragedy that fucked up the rest of my life story all over and over again until I could find the way to free myself from that repetitive choosing. That wasn't helping me. All it was doing was putting me in the state of more losing. Okay, so we're going to put this back over here. And so there's this experience happening. Like you are so safe. So one of the things I'm seeing is this whole experience is a huge confirmation of this new awareness that you're in. Like, it's like, I've said it before on the channel. And yeah, they want me to say it again. Like once you close out active participation in karmic energy, that energy will be around your vicinity and other people and external experiences that here you are to shed your light, to share your wisdom, to share what you've learned. And this is how you continue to fulfill that soul agreement without being in the middle of the shit, right? You get to be on the outside ring of it, okay? And it doesn't touch you, but you do have interaction with it. And so that's what I'm seeing here. Anywhere where you were rejecting facts, spiritual truths, ways that you were disempowering yourself, way that you were putting yourself at a disadvantage for the same repeated story. It's like every time you tell the story, you press a button and order it again. And it's like they're showing me, like when you order food online, they'll say, repeat the last order. At least Domino's does. Would you like to repeat your last order? And every time you tell that same story of that same tragedy, I heard, without leaving it in a higher vibrational place. In other words, you're telling the same story, the same tragedy, and it pisses you off the same, and it makes you sad again, and it makes you cry again, and it makes you mad again, whatever that emotion is, right? They're saying you're literally repeating the last order. They're saying it would be different if you could tell the story and slide the dimmer switch up so that the light is brighter, so that you're more empowered by the end of the story. And how would you do that? You would do that. But this is what I learned. This is how I became wiser, more intuitive, more aware of my power, more empowered from that situation in whatever way that is facts for you. Okay? So what's the action that's happening here? Why to the floor? It went all the way to, hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Okay. To the floor. What's the action that's happening here? The truth that hurts like a bee and sets somebody free. The 3 of Swords. Ooh, that's the heartbreak. You see it raining outside. But there's, again, they're saying 2 perspectives of this. You know, the rain comes and it nourishes the land. Okay, and there's this this Latin song, Mark Anthony, Vivir mi vida. And he said sometimes the rain comes to clear out the wounds. Right? So there's 2 perspectives. Oh my God, this is terrible. It's so rainy. It's so sad. This person really crying. Somebody is really crying right now. And it comes as a release, just like the tears. Oh, and it's funny because I've always had this love for the rain. I love the way it smells. And for me, it's like, it's raining down my blessings. You know, everybody has a different perspective. Some people hate the rain. Some people really get a lot of physical pain when the rain is coming. Their body tells them and they don't like it, right? So what do we have? We have somebody here who's in their tears. Why? Because they're stuck in their head. Why? Because there's some truth, a spiritual truth that they have not wanted to accept. And was this you before? Probably. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in this energy so strongly and then showing up in the mere reflection of this other who's in your environment, who's in your experience, who's here for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So we're not going to get mad. We're going to process it. Okay. So I've attracted this experience. What's the purpose of this experience? I've attracted this so close to me that I can have this whole reading delivered about it. What's the purpose? Okay. First off, again, it's a confirmation of where you've been. And for some of you, it's a confirmation of where you're going. They want me to just pull off the top of the deck now. I'm not shuffle anymore. So what's in that feeling? What's in that heart? The Empress. Wow. And then this Empress card, as soon as I seen it, it said, there's this tears releasing that's happening of all the energy of shame and guilt, of upset, of dysfunction that was being held within as a result of being more loyal and faithful to those who disrespected you, those who couldn't see your worth, rather than giving yourself the loyalty, the respect, the honor that you deserved. And so it's like now you feel it. So I see with this sacrifice, what you're sacrificing is the old version of yourself that would literally like do too damn much for the wrong ones. Could have been for the right reasons, but for the wrong ones who weren't ready to be a part of your season. They weren't ready to be a part of your life. It was disrespectful to yourself in order to entertain that. So I see somebody having that moment. It's like that one moment when I came out of the shower and I was getting ready to go plop myself down on the sofa and I couldn't walk past the mirror, full body mirror that was staring at me because I got stuck. Because in that moment that I saw myself in the mirror, I just saw, oh my gosh, you got me through everything. You got me through every pain, every heartbreak, every financial strain, every difficulty. And it was like this moment of self-recognition, of gratitude to self, of appreciation to self. And this apology of, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I was so loyal to all those ones who were so disrespectful to you. This is all self-conversation. Like, so I see some crying that's happening as a release of shame and guilt and hurt that's attached to overextending the welcome to ones who did not deserve your presence, who did not value your presence, who rather than didn't deserve or didn't value, but they disrespected your presence. They disrespected you on every fucking level. And for somebody, this is your mother. I see that. For somebody, this is a big moment of realization, like, oh my God, because of the way my mother was, I realized that I have been completely unloyal to myself. I have disrespected myself in so many ways because I let all of them stay, because I let all this stuff happen. I kept saying yes to shit I didn't want, okay? 4 of Cups coming through with another meaning. Kept saying yes to the shit I didn't want, even though I didn't want to. And my mother is why I learned how to do that. Oh my goodness. Forgiving your mother because she did the best she could with what she had. But more importantly than that, and more effective than that, the forgiving of the self, because you had to come to this point to realize it in order to change your emotional, mental, and spiritual health. So thankful and grateful for that. And I hear emergency vehicles. The sirens are going off and it just stopped. And it's like as soon as you did that, as soon as you had that moment of self-awareness, self-recognition, self-gratitude, and loyalty to yourself, instead of giving that to all these disrespectful others, right? The emergency was over. It's like very brief. Oh, and the emergency moves away. I can hear sirens again, but they're so faint and they're moving away. So it's like it puts the problem away from you. It detaches you from that energy. It puts it out of your energetic field, giving it back to the universe. Like, oh, it's like crying it out is the easiest way to get that energy out. So if you've been crying, honey, baby, anywhere where you've been bawling your head off because you realize all this stuff, be kind to yourself. Yeah, be very gentle to yourself. You've been through plenty. Acknowledge and recognize, like, it took a lot for you to have these realizations. And because you finally have had them, the better it gets, the better it gets. And things are set to get better because you shifted your energy, because you moved that energy out of you. You can't give it away. You can't run away from it. You had to confront it. And in order to move the energy out of you, you had to accept it. You can't change the frequency and vibration. You can't change something if you won't acknowledge it's there. So acknowledging that it was there was necessary. And so as you came into awareness of anywhere where you had self-betrayal, anywhere where you had belittled your own self for any reason whatsoever, that emotional release that came with it literally is helping you elevate. It's moving the dimmer switch up. Because the next time you think about this situation, you're going to be like, yeah, but I forgave myself for that. Yeah, but I realized because of that, I realized that I needed to be more loyal to me. I needed to be true to me. I needed to honor myself. And because I did that, like, I'm glad I learned. I'm glad I figured it out. It was a tough way to learn, but I got it. It's the energy. So you will have raised the vibration. You have raised the frequency. You have elevated the light by raising the dimmer switch. You left it in a higher place because you acknowledged what it was. And from there, it could be transmuted. Okay. So in our next position, let's see what you're saying. What's your conversation about this looking like? I love, and how does it get any better than this? Look at this. Ace of Pentacles. It's like I feel so good. And this could be your self-conversation. Like, put my love on top, baby. That's the energy. Like, I'm going to put the love for me on top. I'm the most precious thing I have in my life. I thought everybody else was the most precious thing. And they're saying, yeah, even above your children. Your children wouldn't exist if you didn't exist. You have to take care of yourself. This reminded me of this old soul session that I saw between Oprah Winfrey and Iyanla Vanzant. This was years ago. And Iyanla Vanzant put it in spiritual, religious terms. She said, if you are the first gift that God ever gave you in this life, you have to respect that and value that and appreciate that and take care of that before you can take care of anything else. Otherwise, you disrespect. You gotta take care of the number one. You're the number one. And so in your conversation, I see anywhere where you were stuck in a lot of self-defeatist conversation about things that didn't work out, I see you replace that. It's like Eight of Swords turns into Ace of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, those might have been the facts before, but this is the truth now. I am high value. I am precious. I'm important. I matter. I'm my most valuable asset. I've always got my front, back, side to side, and up, down, and all around. I'm going to honor me. I give myself all the loyalty, love, and respect that I deserve. And I enforce that in my life, and that's okay. There's a self-acceptance that you have going on, and it sits right underneath the 1111 card. Like, look at that. It on my table, it sits like this, and so I see you delving deep into self-study. Anywhere where you've not studied your entire birth chart and you only know your sun sign, I see you learning about your birth chart. I see you studying, you know, dreams that you've had, opening yourself up to deeper, more profound levels of awareness about your own dreams. I see somebody who's going to school because there is a dream that you had. I'm going to call you Martin Luther King. Yeah, because you had a dream, Martin, and you were like, I'm about to make that happen, but you didn't know how. So here you go, whether you're actually going to a physical building school, it's an online school, or this is self-taught autodidact, just like me. Look at you being a whole autodidact up in this. You're teaching yourself how to do something because you wanted to do it. Yeah, you're like, I'm going to push the new button. I'm not pushing the old button anymore. I'm not recreating my old story no more. I'm free from that. There's this in your conversation. I love this. And this, interesting because the Metro card is speaking to me now. That's in this image. And it's saying, yeah, this is your past. This, thank you. And then they're bringing back what came in from a previous reading again. All access pass, all access path. You're giving yourself a huge yes. You're saying yes to you. Yes, I deserve it. Yes, I can have it. Yes, I am that. Okay, yes, I am this. Yes, I deserve bliss. Yes, I deserve love. Yes, I deserve pleasure. Yes, I deserve satisfaction. Yes, I am this. Okay, so huge yes energy. Well, let's see what you already know. You know, King of Pentacles, that you can make stuff happen. You've already had experiences that have shown you, hands down, without a doubt, that you make things happen in your life, okay? You are mastering the material realm. You have the ability to sustain financially, economically in your life. You know how to provide. You know your finances are on the up. You know your health is on the up. You know you're loyal, you're true, and you're faithful. And now that you're applying that to you, like this is a huge win and you're celebrating your wins, you know you deserve to get taken out for dinner or to go buy that one thing or to go get taken out for a drink and a movie, whatever it is, right? And so you're like, yes, I got this. I got this. I'm saying yes to myself. This is celebration. And this is a celebration of all that you are, of all that you've come to be, of your alignment. This is a moment where even where your physical life isn't fully reflecting all that you've become, all of this level of awareness, you're just going to hold that frequency and hold that vibration, knowing that it's working in the universe. It's working in the ethers, and it's drawing more of that to you. Yeah, this is what you're knowing. So I love that. You also know that forevermore, for the rest of this physical life, for sure, you are going to be honest with yourself. You're going to take care of you. You're going to be loyal to you. And you also understand, like, anything and anyone that would make me go against me has no space here. It just doesn't work anymore. Anywhere where it used to work and you used to betray yourself and disrespect yourself in order to try to satisfy somebody else, to try to keep somebody else around, like, it just doesn't work like that anymore. You can't do it no more. You're not interested anymore at all. What's up, Christine? I see you. Okay. Oh, Larry, I see you. And givers and takers here with us. So thankful and grateful. Let's see what you're learning. And the Spirit's wanted to, Spirit and God is trying to tell you something. Spirit is trying to tell you something. And it's the Seven of Pentacles. This is something that's going to be a long-term investment. They're saying this isn't something that you just figure it out and then it's done once and forever. No. They're saying you're going to do this over and over again. And as you do this over and over again, they are letting you know, like, certain things are going to fall out of your experience. It's like, when you're on the 100th floor, what's on the 10th floor? They can't see you. Anybody that's on the 90th floor even, they can't see you. The ones that can see you are on the 100th floor. So they're saying, don't get freaked out when it seems like you have become non-existent to certain ones who are not on the same level as you. That's going to have to be okay. It's going to take some getting used to. Stick with it. There's plenty more on this path for you. And it's like, what you're going to learn is in this path, you get to reap the fruit of the karmic seeds you have planted. The fruit that you've been investing in is for you. It was always for you to enjoy. So the ones that are being removed for you, they can't wait to get away from you. Did you hear the car? That sounded like a really heavy engine. It didn't even move that fast, but they sure was giving it the gas. It made a lot of noise. Okay, so there's something here in that where like whoever is being moved away from, it's like they might make a lot of noise on their way out. And I'm seeing a very heavy, dense, slow energy, just like that vehicle sounded. You know, there's some times where I hear these sounds, it sounds like they're out of there. You know, it's so fast. No, this one sounded super slow, super heavy. It sounded like an old, heavy Suburban or truck, something old and heavy. Makes a lot of noise, not getting anywhere very fast. That energy is not coming around you because it's not on your level. You have leveled up. They're not on the same floor as you. They're not on the same level as you. You know, you might see them in the elevator on your way up, but they get off on a different floor than you do. You continue to elevate. I hope you got that message as clear as I just received it. You might see them on the elevator, but they get off on a different floor than you because you continue to elevate. Yes. Thomas, Ian Thomas, welcome. Let me see what's at the bottom of this deck. We have the 9 of Cups. And look at, now she's all happy. Now she's all happy. In the beginning here, she was not happy. Oh, but where was that? Just somebody else's perception? Yes, because this is the foundation. You're actually sitting in emotional independence. You're happy. You got your slice of pie and you're eating it too. Your slice of cake, baby, you getting your slice. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff stacked up for you. You got your drink, you got your dessert, and ain't nobody here to bother you. It's got the whipped cream on top and the strawberry too, okay? And you're smiling, you're happy. And somebody's perspective of you is not that. They can't see that in you. They can't see that in you. They think that, oh, they're not happy. They don't want to see me. They haven't been around. Well, who cares? I heard who cares? It's not your problem. What they think that they know about you is literally just their thoughts. It's not your facts. We don't have to get caught up in their mistaken perspectives of they're going to have all kinds of ideas about you, baby. And I love that this just came through because this was one of the things that really changed my life. Maybe even up to, 15, 16, 17 to 20 years ago. I don't even know when Spirit gave me this, but they said, what they think about you is none of your damn business. And now that's a message for you. What they think about you is none of your damn business. Mind your business. Your business is what you're focused on. Are you pressing the same old button to tell the same old story? Or have you decided on this new button? Well, I can see by your cards you're decided on this new button. I see you moving in new energy, doing things in a new way, from a new perspective. Not any longer sacrificing your loyalty and your beauty and your resources and your time to things that disrespect you, to those who can't see your value, to those who literally cause By your allowing of them, you cause yourself to disrespect yourself. Not doing that anymore. And I'm so proud of you, because I know that in this process, you've been through some pain. I mean, some of you have let go of some of your most cherished loved ones in order to respect yourself better, in order to stop being so loyal to those who have done nothing but violate your spirit, your body, your bank account, your mind, and your heart. Like, it's a lot. It's been a lot. But, you're not alone. You may be on the level up on the 100th floor, baby, but there's other people that could afford that floor too, energetically, vibrationally, frequency-wise. And we're here together. I heard, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Okay, that's what I heard. And that's the thing. You're not alone. And maybe, yeah, I know we don't visit each other's houses and stuff. Well, I mean, actually, you all visit my house every day, don't you? But you know what I'm saying? Like, we may never meet in the physical, but we're never alone. Like, just because you live on the 100th floor now, you may not see all your neighbors all the time. You might catch each other passing from time to time in the hall like this. This is a great way to catch each other in passing in the hall. But we don't all go in each other's houses, and that's okay. We all enjoy the 100th floor. We afford it. Our vibration and frequency can afford it. Our consistency and coherence can afford it. And they're showing me, like, the price of the first floor versus the 100th floor is a far gap, right? And they are talking price, not financially, but, and for somebody, this totally resonates for you financially, but I am seeing frequency and vibration is what pays the cost to be on the top floor, on the 100th floor. You're 100. Ha, thank you. I love the way you just said that, because they were like, yeah, you're not a part of a person. You're a whole person. Like, you're actually whole and complete within yourself. Once you got this emotional mastery, once you got this emotional independence, and you stop making them so relevant to how you feel, what your frequency is, what character you're going to arrive in today, what vibration you're sitting at. Like, that was everything. You became your everything. Now, that doesn't mean that you completely isolated. You still got people in your life. You didn't have to get rid of all your loved ones, but the ones that are still here, they don't have no problem with it. They're like, oh, okay, cool. You're on the 100th floor. I'm so excited for you, you know? I love that you got your new place, right? I love this new vibe on you. They're like, oh my God, you're glowing. You look fantastic. What did you do? Right? And you're not mad at them because they're on the 65th floor. Like, they can be where they're at, but they respect you. They don't disrespect you. They value you. They don't try to diminish you, beat you down, tear you down. No, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You're on this new level. Look at you. Things are on the up. I'm all the way up. And they're like, I'm so excited for you. Things are all the way up. We have the Tower, and it fell out facing the cards again in the deck. Well, it didn't fall out. It flipped over. And it's facing the Two of Wands, which is perfect because this Two of Wands is matching with that crossroads. It's in your past. So they, you know, it was a real shocker. Whatever that crossroads was in your past, it was a real shocker. Like, it was something that tore down this whole false construct, whether that was in your mind mostly or in your physical reality as well. Yeah, it tore down a whole construct. That tearing down of that construct, the other part of the bottom of the deck, is the Chariot. That tearing down of that false construct allowed you to advance, to move forward, to move on, to get up and out, baby. Yeah, they're showing me this. So level up. You're not done yet. They showed me. How many of you remember the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where the glass elevator busts through the glass ceiling, and we don't know how far it goes. And then they're showing me, like, there's somebody's account that follows me, and it's sky's the limit. I was actually driving today, and it came to me like, there's no limits. Why would you, in their account would be better said limitless. If they want to talk about limits at all, like infinite will be even more vibrationally and frequency aligned. Okay. So they're showing me, like, just because you're on the 100th floor doesn't mean that that's it for you. There's more here for you. Again, they're giving me the energy of from year 10, 10 can expand. But if you're not on 10, that 10 can't expand. The balloon has to be full for it to get bigger. So you're on, and thank you. You're on full, gas tank full, okay, energy full, shine full, radiance full, spiritual full, mental health full, emotional wealth full, all of it full, creativity full, spirit team full, everything is on full, okay? But they're saying you have no idea how far this is going to take you. There's so much more here for you, more than you've even become aware of at this point. Okay, and look at this, the Lovers. Some choice you make, this choice that you've made, it's really showing up in a lot of excitement, fresh new energy, the excitement of new love with yourself. It's like, oh my God, I love you. Thank you. You've always taken such good care of me. Oh my God, I love you. I'll never give to them what's yours now. You're mine forevermore. Yeah, they're showing me, I want to know your name. Yeah, they're showing me I had to meet up with, well, I mean, I wasn't even intending to meet up with anybody, but when I got where I was going, there was a meetup. There was a couple people I knew. And I'm talking to the person through the side eye. I could see this gorgeous woman, and I turn on like, ooh, because it was me, and that's the energy. That's the energy that this is giving me right now. The Lovers usually talks about two people coming together. Today it's talking about you coming together with you. Your divine feminine, your divine masculine, all in balance, serving your best interests, looking out for you, taking care of you, on your side. Yeah, I love it. It's actually gorgeous. Gemini energy in the house. Okay, what's opportunity now? Because, they're also saying you always have the choice. You always have the choice. Okay. Opportunity is the Four of Cups. You're going to share something with somebody, but they don't want it. And it's about the choice. Again, thank you. And the fact that they don't want it, and you don't try to argue, you don't try to prove, you don't try to, convince. You just say what you say. They're going to reject it. Okay, cool. I heard there's one more no in the yes jar. Do you guys remember the yes jar? Interesting. And we do have a jar on the table. This jar is protection. So if they reject it, there's a protection here for you. But what Spirit has shown me for a while now, a couple of years, actually, maybe just over a year ago, actually, now they're reminding me that this download came through about the yes jar. So there's some things that are so important for you that you choose over and over and over again. And you've been steadily moving in that direction, right? But you could say to yourself, why? Why isn't it happened yet? Why doesn't it happen yet? Why haven't I got my love, my money, my house, my car, my dream, whatever? And Spirit's like, you need to go through all the no's first, because you fill up the yes jar with the no's. The no's are different sizes. You don't know how big the yes jar is. You just know you got to fill it up with all the no's. And then I heard it's factual, but the whole KFC story about, the colonel went asking all these people to invest in his recipe and got so many no's before they got a big yes. And they said it's like 1,000 no's, and then finally got it. Whether or not that story is factual, I know this is spiritually true. There's going to be so many that either you say no to and they say no to you, whatever. They're all no's. Keep putting them no's in your yes jar, because once you get that yes jar full, however many it takes, just keep going through it, because that's when you get your real yes. And it's an energetic thing, it's a spiritual thing, and it's an alignment thing as well. They're saying it's an alignment thing as well. So you've got a choice. You have an opportunity coming to say no, to protect your energy, okay? And you're not telling why. This is what you're standing on. You're standing on the Seven of Swords. You're saying, I don't have to explain myself. This is strategy. I'm just filling up the yes jar with all the no's. So yeah, bring it on. Thank you, next. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex. All of them. I heard all of them, right? Ex-boss, ex-lover, ex-friends. The no's. And now that you understand all the no's that are necessary, You're strategic with it. You're like, oh, sure, I'll check it out. Oh, no, that's not for me. Thank you. Ooh, that's another no in my yes jar. Don't tell nobody. I won't tell nobody, baby. I'll keep your secret. Because those who need to know are in the know. And if you know, then you know. And you know, and I know, and we know. So, yay. Okay, let me see behind you. The Hermit. This was that soul searching. This was that lonely journey. This was that journey that looked lonely to other people because you were always by yourself, but you're like, other people are just going to slow me down. Nope, I'm not interested in that. I'm focused on something. I have my own light. I'm going to follow my own light. You can't go where I'm going. You can't go into this energy I'm coming into. You can't sit next to me. I'm moving to the 100th floor. You can't come up there with me. You can only afford 10th floor rent, like literally, vibrationally or frequency. Yeah. Hermit energy, Virgo behind you. Virgo energy. Anywhere where there was this Virgo person who just not would accept what you had to offer. I see you had an opportunity to give love to this person and they rejected it. They did not want it. And I'm seeing that this person was very focused on the past. They were one of the ones who were doing what you used to do, which is put the button on repeat. And they kept reordering the same last order. And it was a miserable order. But it's also like by your experience with that one, it helped you to see how you were doing the same thing so you can change. Or like, oh, I'm not doing that no more. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for that person in my life that I had to say no to, because in the experience with them, I realized where I was doing the same thing that they're doing. I'm not doing that no more. Now I'm pushing yes on something new. I want something new. Okay. All right. So let's see what's above you. Is the Hierophant. You got the life lesson. Spirit is showing you things, right? You have a spiritual authority. You took back your power. You're communicating with Spirit. You're understanding the way universal laws are applied. Okay, you thinking about, I'm committed to this for the long term. I am not going to, there's no backsliding around here. You're like, I'm not backsliding. I'm not falling into my old ways. I'm moving forward, onward and upward. Okay, and you know that you have connection to a spirit team. So aside from all the physical and intellectual intelligence that you have, the knowledge and the wisdom, you intentionally, this is like calling on God, the universe, on your spirit team to show me, guide me, show me the way. Show me the way. I've learned when I try to force things like that, doesn't work so well. So show me the way. What is this here for? Is this here for me to say yes, or is this another no? Okay. Is this really where you want me to go? Should I stay longer? Should I go? This is somebody who's really getting in tune. And I really want to say it this way, with the highest self, with the highest, most authentic and divine version of you, the part of you that never left the spirit realm, the one that sees the map, the roadmap of your life, the outline of your story, and knows every turn, every bump, every hiccup, every mountain, every valley, and that can never be separated from you. Okay, there's also this awareness like, why do I have to reconnect to what I always am? I'm hearing that. Why do I have to reconnect to what I always am? I hear this is a huge bit of awareness. It's going to change your entire life. Somebody here, you're hearing this for the first time and it's making all the sense in the world. Yeah. Somebody say you need to meditate so you could reconnect. But why do I have to reconnect to what I always am? Starting to realize what you've always been. You made some choices that went against it. I heard that refined the voice. That refined the voice. Now you know what the voice is, and you're stepping into a greater awareness of what you've always been, that the connection is always on. I see specific people who are having these awareness, epiphanies. It's like memories of things that happened early in your life that you had completely dismissed and forgotten, did not even read any kind of anything into it from way back when. All of a sudden, it's hitting your mind like it just happened yesterday. And you're seeing how you were always on. You were always connected. You just didn't realize that you were connected. You didn't realize what you were. but it was always guiding you in these decisions, and the voice was always there. Your highest self was always there. God was always there. The universe was always showing you signs. I see some of you having these huge realizations about choices you made, what you've accepted, what you didn't accept, and how there was a divine plan in place all the time. And how the divine was speaking through your physical life to you all the time. Having this, it's like when all the dots come together, when all the puzzle pieces form, when that final piece gets into place, when you draw enough lines on the dot to dot that you can finally see what you're drawing. Okay? And I just want to throw this out there. The dot to dot that they're showing me, as I say dot to dot, is this book that I bought for all my grandchildren last year. This book was at the Dollar Tree. It had dot to dots with like hundreds. When I say thousands, there was a dot to dot with 1,000 dots on it. So this is not short-term stuff. This is realizing what it's all been forming a picture ever since way back when. And it all starts to become very cohesive in you. And that's that's epic. This is an epic moment. And it's very much related to that moment of pure self-awareness where you stand in front of the mirror and you ball your head off and you realize like, oh shit, I'm the one that got me through all that. When everybody else abandoned me and nobody else would support and nobody helped me, I did it. OMG. Okay. Moving forward, the Two of Wands comes out. Decision. And it's on the top of the deck, so we're going to take it. Okay, and so you take the past. I'm telling you, this is going to affect the way you move in the future. You're having this moment of awareness that is related to the past. 6 of Cups. This is talking to me about what I just said. It is confirmation of what happened before, hitting you with a new level of profound awareness, in-depth awareness, self-awareness, self-realization through a memory, through nostalgia, something you didn't even think about. And it's not by any mistake at all that it's sitting on the Empress energy on the table. I'm just saying, like, there's a reason for this. Okay. So something from the past, the spirit brings it back. Yeah, I'm looking at the 7 of Swords. That was what you were standing on. And it's looking over at the 6 of Cups. And it's like, again, the divine plan in the past being revealed. The divine plan in the past being revealed. Now, that divine plan in the past being revealed could have to do with soulmates that were deceptive, lying, cheating, mucka-hucka-hoos. Okay? That's okay. It was necessary. It was part of your growth trajectory. It was part of your path of awareness. And how could spirit draw upon that experience if you didn't have it, right? So there's an integration happening. I'm hearing there's an integration of all the things, as this awareness sets in you, as this self-actualization and realization moment sets in you that you've always been connected. There is no disconnecting from what you are. So some of you have this, you have heard this before, you've learned this before, you know, the divine is all things and all things are divine. God is in everything, whatever way you want to say it. The energy is all the same. We're all made of the same atoms and molecules and protons and neutrons and electrons, okay? Again, so if that's all true, from whichever perspective you prefer, how can you separate yourself from what you truly are? And you can't. And you're realizing it's impossible. I must be what I truly am. In all of my states. In all of my states of having been. And they're showing me a book being flipped through. I'm seeing a book, a flip book, that's showing you all the states of being you've been. All these levels of self-awareness you've had. All the levels of self-identity that you've had. And now you're on 100. Now you can see yourself more whole and more completely. And they're saying, yeah, and as you see yourself as I am that, I am that, I am this, I am the other, all of that is part of me. There's this huge integration and coherence that happens in this acceptance, in this epiphany, in this awareness. Let me see more. 3 of Pentacles. And Spirit's like, oh yeah, I see you, mind, body, and soul alignment. We can work with you now. Your spirit team is like, okay, it's time to juice it up some more. Your ancestors are like, finally, somebody got it. Finally, somebody got it. Let me see some more. Queen of Swords. You're like, whoa. I want that to happen again. When this happens for you, it's so epic. It's so transformational. It's so significant that you think to yourself, I want more of that. I want to have more awareness. It feels so freeing. I want to have more understanding. I wonder what else is there. So one of the things it's going to do is going to cause you to really like, I'm hearing, since that's the information you've gotten about that past experience and how it played an important role of who you are today, how is one of the dots that you had to connect to get on this, on down the line. I'm hearing on down the line. What you're going to do is you're going to be looking for other things that are relevant to that. Well, where else did that happen? So, okay, they want me to give you something more specific from my personal experience. I had this moment, maybe about 10 to 15 years ago, where Spirit said, you know, you've always been intuitive, psychic, able to sense other people's feelings. You've always been able to hear Spirit. And what they did was, so I'm in my 30s at this time, right? And Spirit took me to my freshman year in high school. Freshman year in high school, yep. My freshman year in high school, where I was standing in the lunchroom, looking at how beautiful this girl was from across the lunchroom. And then all of a sudden I had all these thoughts coming through my head. I'm ugly. Nobody likes me. And that was the train of thought. And it went down that path. And it was a lot, right? Boy, I wish I could bump into that lady today. I'm just saying. But the Spirit showed me at that time, like, you thought those were your thoughts back then. But that was your ability to hear and perceive the thoughts and feelings that were going through other people. Because when I tell you, I felt ugly. I felt like hiding. I could hear the thoughts and I could feel that. And so what I now am able to deduce once Spirit showed that to me was, oh my gosh, all those years I thought nobody liked me and I thought I was ugly because I was hearing everybody else's fucking thoughts. That wasn't my thought. And I was owning them, right? And so where else did I take other people's feelings and claim them for my own? And I most recently did that. There was somebody who wanted to be in my energy more intimately than I wanted them to. And their desire was so intense and I was aware of it and I allowed it. I allowed that even though I didn't like it. So I'm still practicing this, right? Still practicing what I've learned, but becoming more aware. And let me tell you, one of the things that I learned along that journey was, is this mine? I learned to start asking about the thoughts. Is this mine? About the feelings. Is this mine? Is this really mine? And often it's not, because when you're super sensitive and you do pick up on other people's thoughts and feelings, you think that shit is yours. So is this exactly what's happening with you? Right? Because there's a reason they asked me to bring out specific personal experiences when I channel these messages for you. It's relevant for somebody. Put that in the box. I was psychic and I didn't know it. Let me know. Put some in the comments. Okay. But what's happening is now that you have that awareness, again, you start to utilize that awareness to see if you could connect some more dots. Yeah. You're like, I wonder what else can make sense now that I know that about myself. Wow. Okay. Let's see some more. Boom. As you begin to play with this more, yeah, you ask the question, where else did that happen? What else? When else did I do that to myself? Yeah, it hits. Oh, honey, it hits. And you start to see, and this tower is looking like a torrential flow. It's like you get in this, as you come into this level of awareness. Oh, thank you. I love that. They said in everything that comes through. Okay. Just slow it down. Make it linear. Keep it on deck and in the hole. Okay, thank you. So, what they're showing me, as you've asked to be able to perceive, and where else did I do that? Where else is this the same thing that had happened then? One after the other, they come in. And a realization, whoa, I did it here. And I did it there. Oh my gosh. And I see somebody, they're showing me a specific experience. There's this coworker. It's not even somebody you particularly care for, but look at you. You took something to a potluck once and they've been bugging you to bring them some more of that ever since. And you know what? You do it every time. You always do it. You feel like you need to. Yeah, you're picking up on their feelings and you're putting that together. But what else they showed me, why I had to tell them slow it down and make it linear and keep it on deck and in the hole, was because they also showed me, and with each of these realizations and more profound, more accurate, all-encompassing levels of awareness of things that you've done in your past, of moments where this has happened in your life, you release it. You release the attachment to that. You release the idea that you have to do that again. You release the idea that this happens without your awareness. And you accept the awareness deeper, solidifying it. It's like every time you have this epiphany and you have this realization about all the ways that you did that in the past, and what was actually happening in your mind, in your spirit, in your energy field, in your consciousness, it helps you to add in a greater level of awareness that makes that, is this mine, more automatic. Because you're going to end up getting to this point where it becomes automatic. You don't have, you will eventually, and they're saying it is going to take some time. We're not going to lie to you and tell you it's going to happen instantly, but they're saying eventually you get to this point where you're going to be like, oh, that doesn't feel like it's mine. It's going to take some more awareness, but that's okay. You've got it. So let me see what else. 4 of Wands. Welcome to your new journey. Welcome to the new path. Welcome to the new you. And definitely also 4 of Wands, celebration, totally celebration energy as well. Okay, what else? Page of Cups. The fun, okay. Oh, and this is also giving me a huge transformation happening in your energy as you look over your life review, as you're having these epiphanies, and it doesn't feel like that fucked up situation anymore. It doesn't feel like a mistake anymore. It feels like I was just being trained. I was literally being spiritually trained. So there's no reason to be angry about it because now I get it. Oh, it's like that. Okay. 8 of Swords. And because you're there, somebody who's stuck in their head, thinking that, you know, it's got to be the way that they think it's got to be. They're not really open-minded. This person is very closed-minded, shows up. And this is a confirmation for you. This is evidence in your physical reality for you that you have solidified this new energy so much that the scales of justice have been balanced. And so now, again, this is thank you. This is a real world physical evidence that you are no longer in the center of that karmic experience. You move to the outskirts of it as an observer rather than a participant. You got something to celebrate, and it's big, it's epic, it's significant. Bottom of the deck is 4 of Pentacles. In order to get here, you had to get grounded. You had to get with yourself. You had to pull your energy back from a lot of different things. I heard in order to even get on the elevator. Like they're showing me this game, the Red Rover game where all the kids link arms, right? You can't get on the elevator if you're linked arms with all these hundreds of people, ideas, and energies that are not yours. Thank you. Okay, so this is why I see you. You've been staying home a lot more because every time you chose to sit in your own energy, it allowed you to unlink from everything and everyone you linked up to. Like you were linked to all this shit. You did not know that while you were on your journey, you were linking to all these other energies. You were linking to all these other ideas and feelings that were not yours. They're saying, so some of you, like you use a lot of Palo Santo, you use a lot of sage. Now that you know what we've talked about here, they're saying, can you rather than that have this intention to ask yourself every day and actually follow through? Is this mine? And then when you realize that no, it's not, you'll hear it, no. And you just give it back to the universe. Okay, fine, I give it back to you. It's not mine. It was never mine to begin with. And I'm hearing there's a lot of feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that you've been carrying ever since you were very young. They were not really yours. They were others' stuff that you, like a sponge, soaked up, right? So it's like learn to squeeze your sponge out every day. But remember that you're the tool. Remember that you're the main tool. You're the reason. You're the power. You're the miracle and magic. Remember that while you're doing this, okay? Yeah, when you have this kind of energy, when you have this kind of self-awareness that allows you to tap into other people's thoughts, other people's feelings and stuff like that, honey, you tend to be like a sponge, a dry-ass sponge, and you soak up everything until you realize what's going on. Until you realize what's going on. And, you know, they are reminding you in your blessing, you have protection. You've always been protected anyways. Okay? And certain experiences that you had to have benefit you on the journey moving forward. Like they're literally showing me why I got to experience what it feels like to have another person assert their energy. Like more plainly stated, I got to feel like what it feels like to be under the curse or under a magic spell created by another person. So that when people want to work with me, I know what they're talking about when they're describing it to me, because they don't know why. They don't know. I've been taught, right? But I was safe to go through that experience. So you've had a lot of experiences. Those experiences weren't always pleasant, but they're part of your toolkit now. Spirit's giving you direct understanding, internal awareness of why you had to draw that line from that line on the dot to dot. You had to do all these little tiny lines. When the full picture forms, you can see the reason for every tiny line in the giant dot to dot, right, of your life. You had all these experiences. It was very necessary. Each step was very necessary. And when you start to see all this, it's because you pull your energy back. You spend more time on your own. You spend more time in your own energy instead of being bombarded with all these other energies. And I'm hearing it, once you get stable and grounded into your own energy, it's easy to identify your own frequency, your own vibration, your own thoughts, your own feelings, and stabilize that. And you'll stabilize that before you go back out into, I understand you're probably going to work every day, doing all these things every day and stuff, right? But you're going to get more stable in that before you quote unquote put yourself out there again. So maybe putting yourself out there sounds like dating or looking for another job, stuff like that, right? Getting involved in some sort of community event or group. Yeah. So what'll happen, they said part of why all this needs to happen, when you do get back out there and decide to play in these energies again, now with this higher level of awareness and this ability to on the spot ask, is this mine? Right? You're going to be able to on the spot, I heard Johnny on the spot, determine if an experience you have when you get back out there is yours or whether it is not. And then you can even, because of your level of spiritual power and that divine connection, okay, you're going to be able to assist on a spiritual level for the other to do what they need to do. In other words, let's apply this. They said, let's apply this to you being in the lunchroom. I said, okay. They said, the way you would have did this if you were in the lunchroom is to actually tell the girl, no, you're actually beautiful. I love you, and I'm not the only one. You're gorgeous. You know, when you hear that, I'm so ugly, nobody likes me. No, we love you. You're gorgeous. We love looking at you. We're not looking at you because you're ugly. We're looking at you because you're beautiful. We love your energy. We love seeing you every day. We love having you in our class. We love being around you. Right? So you're going to hear these other thoughts, their self-feeling, their self-thoughts. And it's going to be something unpleasant that they're thinking. Their self-thought, they haven't learned what you've learned, but you can assist them on a soul level because you can see what they really are. You can see beyond their own limiting thoughts, limiting self-identities through their own I heard self-sabotage. You can see through that. Yeah, and you'll be able to support their authentic divine nature, which benefits all of us at the end of the day. Like literally every human that elevates even 1% in their vibration, in their frequency, assists the humanity collective in elevating. They put one more nudge up on the human dimmer switch. In this case, we're going to call it an elevation switch because, baby, we are elevating. And then they're reminding me years ago, Spirit started telling me we elevate or fall together. And we can elevate for ourselves and elevate for one another. And if you don't understand that this is part of the reason that you have these abilities is so you could be an elevating force for humanity, then that's going to be something they're going to show you. Like, it's not just for you to live a great life. Yes, it is for you to live a great life, but that's not the gist of it. Be that elevating factor. When you hear them downing themselves, beating themselves up, telling themselves all these lies that are self-defeatist and tragic, like you speak to their spirit, you're in tune with their essence. That's why you can hear their thoughts. And remember, what you do for another, you actually do for yourself. The energy you put out comes back to you. So as you help heal this one on a spiritual level, you heal that part of yourself that resonated enough with that person and their tragic or ugly experience in order to be able to hear them telepathically. I hope that all makes sense to you. We have, coming out of the fairy dust cards, before we get into your Alpha and Omega messages, we have the fairy guides. Whenever you are feeling blue, don't fear. The fairies are protecting you. I like the fairies because they're earth elementals. They're of some of the most ancient energy that exists here, and they exist here to assist Gaia and assist humans, right? Assist humans and Gaia. You are protected. Don't let it scare you. This is a way you empower yourself and humanity. Remember, what you put out comes back to you. If I had known then what I know now, I would have told that girl she's absolutely gorgeous. Not only spiritually, but I would have walked to her face and told her, I apologize. I keep staring at you, but you are absolutely gorgeous. And I can't take my eyes off of you. You're just too good to be true. You'd feel like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. And I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Okay? So sometimes you're looking at somebody and you see something so beautiful about them. And they're so used to so much hate. Not only that they've been feeding themselves, but they've been getting from all these other low vibrational mucka-hucka-hoos walking around me and you. Right? And then, so they thinking like you're thinking negative towards them or you're hating or something. No, just tell them you're beautiful. You're beautiful. That's for sure. Let them know. I love your hair. I love your smile. I like the way you put your makeup on. I love the way you wear that bag. I love the way you laugh. Oh my gosh, thank you for a great greeting. Like you just said hi and my whole energy just lit up. Tell them the beautiful thing that they need to hear. Because if you don't, I mean, you didn't put anything bad out, but you didn't elevate what you could have either. Because when you're staring at them, they thought, because they're used to all this low vibrational BS, they thought you were talking some kind of mess in your head instead of, oh my God, girl, you are gorgeous. Boy, you as handsome as heck. You know what I'm saying? And it don't mean you got to take nobody home with you. No, not at all. But you can appreciate something. I like the way you held that door open for that person. I like the way you said hi and smiled at everybody that crossed your path. I like the way you carry yourself. You carry yourself like you got some business about you. Oh, look at that. Whatever it is. I like the way you styled your hair. I love your natural hair. You have such a beautiful skin tone. My goodness. I got a tan to get this color. Whatever. You know, I got to put curls in my hair. Look at how pretty your natural curls are. I don't know. Whatever. I love your funky style, baby. I've never seen nobody with such a beautiful, eclectic style like you. Whatever it is. You can use that moment when you're receptive to something in another, and you can empower, if you choose, It's up to you. I can't make you. They can't make you. Nobody's going to make you. But it's your choice. And I go back to that. It is your choice. It's always your choice. Right? To show somebody what they can't even see about themselves. They can't see it. Sometimes you're telling them is all they needed. And I love that you're doing this all the time. And I love that you're out there being the beautiful soul. And you know what? One of my favorite compliments to give somebody back, when somebody compliments me, oh my God, I love your hair, I love your blah, 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 whatever they say, right? I love your energy. I'm like, it takes one to know one. It's my favorite thing because it used to be an insult as a kid. But now I'm like, it takes one to know one. If you can see my energy, if you can appreciate how beautiful my energy is, or my physical beauty, or my talents, or whatever it is, it literally takes one to know one. So what you see in me is inside of you. And if you can't see nothing but hate, anger, ugly, whatever it is inside of me, then that's inside of you. And boy, if that ain't true, because back then when all I could hear was those thoughts and I saw that inside of myself, I self-identified as ugly and nobody likes me for years behind that. And I had to go through all these shadow processes, being alone, to figure out that, oh no, I'm actually an amazing person. People do like me and I'm really beautiful. It took a long time to feel that, to get in tune with my own energy. And I've spent a lot of more time alone than I have accompanied, right? And so that's just a reiteration of what the experience has been. The bottom of the deck, they want me to show you the bottom of the deck. It's amazing because it says, learn. A little nudge, it's now your turn. Put on your thinking cap, it's time to learn. And what Spirit said you're going to learn? About this long-term investment. Spirit has been investing in you long-term to get what? To realize that you are the candle magic. To realize that you are the power, you are the reason, you are the miracles, and you are the magic. This is what we have for you today. Let's go into your Alpha and Omega messages. So love that you're here for this. I love that you aligned with this. I love that you're being this. Let's do this, tribe. Like, we can do this, and we've been doing it all along. And now that we know what we're doing, it's like, yeah, we're going for the wins, and we're getting them all day long. I'm just saying, this is the energy. Ace of Abundance. I love that this card is here because we already had it from another deck. But let's read what the Guardian Angel Tarot wants to say. This cherub brings wonderful news. A windfall of resources comes your way to help you with your plans. These resources may involve money, advice, or assistance in getting things done. It's a good time to start a new venture, change careers, or go into business for yourself. There may be important contracts to sign. There may be. I mean, if you're going to move up to the 100th floor, honey, as you level up, there are new contracts. You have to sign a new lease on your new energy, baby. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. And then we're going to do you a yes or no. They just said to do you a yes or no. So let's go ahead and read your postcard from Spirit. Dearest you, selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness to someone for no other reason than as an exercise of the heart. Pause. They said the way we just talked about, do it that way, the spiritual way. Speak to their spirit. This is the most beneficial way. They said you could give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime. And that's what they're talking about. Go to the roots. Remember, we want to enhance, grow from the roots. Okay. Play on the card. You will be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. We know it often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles, seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows, and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. I love that. What a beautiful Alpha and Omega message. Like, yes, be very generous. It costs you nothing to give spiritually. And spiritually hits the root, right? We're not saying you can't give financially or physically in any way. You can, right? But they're putting a heavy emphasis on what's the thought, what's the energy, what's the vibration that you're giving, sharing, emitting when you're out there and you see people in stress, in worry, in concern, in insecurity, in fear, in doubt. You have the ability to abundantly give that for free, instantly, and literally all it takes is just one thought. One thought, and one beautiful thought for each person you cross. And what will happen in our world if we all do that every day in every way possible? Give them a good thought. Give them a good thought. You see them in stress. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe I see somebody driving down the street and there's a person sitting on the side and you could just see that they've had a very difficult day. It's written all over their face, all over their body language and everything. And it literally costs you nothing to send them some positive thoughts and energy and tell them it's okay. You got this. You'll make it through this. As you move on down the road, keep going on your way, hitting the gas. You know what I'm saying? Because the light turned green and you got to go. It's easy. It's so easy that it doesn't make sense not to. Yeah. I see somebody driving past the welfare building on their way to work every day. What would happen if you let them know that they are worthy and deserving of abundance and prosperity? And from now on, you're going to see the magic and the miracles happening in your life every day. What would happen if you just spoke that out, knowing that there's so many people inside that building every day living in lack and limitation, who need to understand that the universe is abundant and prosperous for the entire imagination. This imagination. I am a magician. We are a nation of magicians. And we can use our energy and our magic in any way we want, because you are the reason. You are the power. You are the magic. You are the miracle. Let's get you a yes or no answer to your personal question. This is going to work for all of you one time because you're watching this. And so whatever way you formed your question first is perfect. You can put it in the comments if you want, but this answer is going to be pulled once and you will all get your accurate answer. And this is how amazing spirit works. Let's see, is it yes or no, yes or no, yes or no? Okay, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And it actually fell out this time, so let's start there. The answer is no. And I wanted to say, these cards are actually amazing. The bottom of the deck is the World. The first card out was the Fool. And the final card out was the Wheel of Fortune. So, I mean, wherever you have awareness of the cards, like, whoa. But the answer is no. So, this is what I have for you. So thankful and grateful for your beautiful presence. Until next time, I absolutely love and adore the part of me that aligns with you. The golden thread that shines all the way through. Color, peace, and happiness. And in the meantime, in between time, you can treat yourself at LPHtarot.com. As in love, peace, and happiness to you and yours. And of course, me and mine. Until next time. 감사합니다. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.